Hey guys, this is Jennifer, and this is the Jennifer Allwood Show, the podcast where you learn how to create a beautiful home and build a creative business. Grab a cup of coffee, find a cozy spot in the house, and let's chat. I'm excited you're here. Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast this week. I am so super excited to chat with you guys this week. And I've brought some friends along with me because life is so much better with friends. And so I want to introduce you to three members of my inner circle, which you all know by now opens again on Monday, September the 24th. By the time you're listening to this podcast, it'll be in the middle of the opening and we will be closing the next day. So if you want to go to the show notes, you can see where you can go to sign up. But I wanted to bring on these three women just to talk about the value and the importance of community and just what being around a group of like-minded individuals has done both for their business and for them professionally and personally. And so we are working really hard here to make sure we've got decent audio, but I got to tell you that one of my friends here today is Corey Frazier. And we're going to start with Corey just in case we have any like wild west wonky stuff happening, Corey. But Corey has a couple of different businesses. And Corey, I just love you. You know that I adore you. And have gotten the chance to meet all three of you in real life, which is fantastic. But will you tell us like what your two businesses are? And then will you tell us where you are currently physically located, like even as we do this podcast episode, if you want, and what has happened in your community in the last week?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Jennifer. The feeling is mutual. I absolutely adore you and all that I have gotten out of your coaching and your inner circle. But I am on the coast of North Carolina, and I am a portrait and personal branding photographer. So I help people share their stories and capture their why for their businesses. And I work with a wide range of clients, anywhere from high school seniors to creative entrepreneurs to nonprofits to corporate business. Doing portrait photography basically for them. So headshots and personal branding. But I also, actually I have a couple of different businesses. I also have a membership group where I help busy moms and creative entrepreneurs learn how to use their DSLR cameras that are sitting on the shelves collecting dust because they just don't know how to get started. So I open that twice a year. And it has been a wonderful learning community, and it's been great because I'm a teacher. That's my background, education. And so being able to teach again has been so fulfilling. And I also have a support group for military spouses who also are raising businesses while they're trying to raise their families and support and our service members who are serving our country. My husband is a United States Marine. He's been a Marine for 27 years, and we have 3 daughters. So I am a busy lady, but
you are, Corey. And you know, I just have such a heart for your third business. I mean, I love your photography stuff, but I'm like, there is such a need for like what you're doing for military spouses. And I think because my brother is military and I come from, my father's military, I just think that you're just blessing so many people by what you're doing to help support them while spouses are deployed and things. So please thank your husband for his service. And I thank you because I swear it's like the women, the moms that are staying behind or the husbands that are staying behind, and raising kids. Like I can't imagine. I think there's a special place in heaven for you. So, so tell us what has happened in your community in the last week with the recent hurricane.
Absolutely. And real quick, before I forget, my friend Kimberly Turner and I are the ones who started or co-founded Military Spouse Compass for Creatives. I forgot to mention that earlier. I'm a little wonky right now.
Special shout out for Kimberly. It's okay, honey. I'm a little off my game also. But you know what? This is real life. And I never want my podcast to be so polished that it doesn't feel like genuine. You know what I mean? And so in real life, your life's been turned upside down. We've had some things happening in our family that has really turned our world upside down in the last week. And we are just all doing the very best we can on any given day. So it is okay that you missed that. So yeah, the hurricane has affected you personally.
Yes. And I live in Swansboro, North Carolina. Kimberly and I both live here. We both have businesses. She has a cupcake business. I have a photography business, and we help a lot of local military families in our community with our coaching and support. But my house, 10 of the 12 rooms are devastated. We have ceilings that have caved in. And in our cul-de-sac alone, very few houses are livable. And our little town received 34 inches of rain, if you've seen Swansboro on CNN. my girls and I and the dogs evacuated. My husband stayed because he is essential personnel at the Marine Corps base at Camp Lejeune. But he was here to try to mitigate as much of the damage as possible, but it is substantial and devastating. But you know what? When you asked about talking about community, I can tell you that I have seen our amazing little community rise from the ashes and support one another and love one another. And community is a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you said when we were just chatting before we went live here on the podcast about how community is so important, whether it's like in times of devastation, which your community is going through, which is so real. And I'm so sorry. If I was there, I'd give you a big old hug, girl. But it's also so important, like in terms of our business. And I know that you are just a huge believer of surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals and doing business and life with them. So will you talk about that for just a minute? I keep thinking, I'm hoping that her Wi-Fi connection stays tight here. So I'm like, let me get everything out of Corey we can, and then we'll talk to the other ladies who are waiting so patiently. Thank you, girls.
Absolutely. In business, especially being in a military community, support is something that we all need desperately. And we work together a lot. So I took a lot of those skills and in the teaching community as well, and have applied those in my business. And I will tell you that you need that support, that you cannot be an island in this. This is tough. And you talk about that a lot. Yeah. And I think by finding like-minded people who are going in the same direction, doesn't have to be the same kind of business.
Amen.
Best if it's not the same kind of business, because you can take ideas from other people in your community and try to apply them to your business. But I think finding people who are facing the challenges that you're facing in business, but also that you have to celebrate the successes with, I think that is what's so important. And I will tell you that Inner Circle has been so amazing because it has expanded the reach and the scope of what other people experience in business. And it's been able to help me bring it back into my business and to help share it with other businesses.
Yeah. Well, I love celebrating our big wins on Fridays for people in the group. And, sometimes the big win is that you survived getting your kiddos back to preschool and still running your business at the same time. Sometimes the big win is I got on TV. Sometimes it's I sent out my very first email. Like, I just love that there's such a wide range depending on where you're at in business and what your goals are. And I think that as entrepreneurs, we're so used to having our foot on the gas all the time. And I know, especially just because I know Jessica, who's also in my mastermind, I know her really well. Entrepreneurs don't lack ideas. We never run out of things to do. It's not like any of us entrepreneurs are ever sitting at home going, gosh, I wish I knew what to do in my business today. I mean, our minds are always going, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And very rarely do any of us sit back and celebrate what we just did. Oh my gosh, I just did that. Because I know for me, I'm always halfway through a project and then instantly I'm like, oh, and I could also do, the next thing. And I think us women are guilty of that. And us entrepreneurs are double guilty of that. So, I know you have been in my group for well over a year. And so I just want to thank you for that. And we'll come back to you in just a second. But I want to talk to Jessica next. Hello, Miss Jessica.
Hi.
I am so glad you're here.
We don't have a lot of background here.
You what?
Hopefully we don't have a lot of background noise here.
No, I don't think so. Are you, you're in a spot where there could be a little noise, but like I said, this is we're casual today, so it's all good. So I have had Jessica in my inner circle for well over a year as well. And Jessica's in a different industry. And Jessica, it's funny because people will always ask me, I'm not a creative. Should I still join your group, your inner circle? And I'm like, we have tons of non-creatives and you're in the real estate industry. So will you tell everybody what your business is and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first I want to say why I joined the inner circle. Really?
Oh, yeah, I would love that.
For you, you were the reason, obviously, Jennifer always inner circle. I found you on Facebook somehow. I came across one of your live videos. I think maybe a friend shared it with me. Mm-hmm. And you were so open about your faith. And so I'm a woman of faith. And that's what attracted me to you. And just the whole, the motivation behind it. And all of the tips and things that you share on Facebook, I was really drawn, and I was so glad that I joined and then became a member of your mastermind team.
Yep, she is.
Yes. So I'm in the real estate industry and I've been a realtor for 15 years. And about 2 years ago, I decided to start a group for moms that are in real estate because I started my brokerage 4 years ago when my son was 2. So I was, having to juggle being a mom and selling real estate, and it's hard, like
really
any other industry, but real estate kind of has some nuances. You are expected to be on call 24/7 for clients, and there's a lot that goes into it. And I thought, if I've been successful, I've been able to figure out how to juggle it. Mm-hmm. And I thought if I would have had someone to kind of show me along the way, I would have avoided a lot of pitfalls. So I decided to open something 2 years ago. It was just a community. We call ourselves Real Estate Mega Moms.
Love it.
Anyway, and so after, getting to know you and what you do, I decided to start a membership group as well. So we do have a support group. But I just posted on my page the other day how, we all talk about balance. Yeah. And I thought, I have balance and I want to achieve balance. And then I realized this week, I really don't want balance. And I think that we don't, really, if we think about it, we don't want balance, because what is balance? It's equal, right? It's spending equal amount of time in my work as equal in my home life. And I don't want that. I want imbalance. I want to spend more time with my family and less time working. So that's my mission, to kind of have a formula behind it and show real estate moms how to do that.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much. I actually have a post that's we must kind of be right here, Jessica, with what's on our hearts right now, because I have a post that's going live on my Facebook page this morning just talking about, I had somebody message me and she said, I had two people message me on Instagram DMs, and they both said, I'm not wanting a huge business. Yeah. I just want enough money for XYZ every month. And so would your inner circle still be a good place for me? And so I started this Facebook post, and I got to go back in and finish it. Basically just saying, I think that we're being fed this lie right now that we can have it all, ladies, we can do it all. And, all the things, and something always is going to suffer. Yeah. I think there are different seasons where we can have different things, and we can have all the things in some seasons, but not in every season. And so, I know when I was home raising babies, I was in baby raising mode for, years before I was really able to focus heavily on my business. And that's, I think, our first mission field and our first calling and our first job. That's my personal conviction. And so, so what I was saying on my Facebook post is, you don't have to want a big business. You can just want enough to cover soccer lessons a month. Ladies, you may just want to make enough to pay the car payment and be able to have extra money to go to Hobby Lobby every month. And that is fine. Don't let anybody tell you that unless you want it big, that your dreams are wrong, because that's not the truth. And so I love that you're looking for imbalance, that you're wanting to be so much more available at home and still have an income to if you were, working more than you are. But I love, Jessica, that you're always trying to find ways of working less so that you can be more available to the people that are most important to you.
Yes. And I've had to say no to opportunities, no to speaking, and no to travel and things like that. But it's always so worth it, to put my family first.
Absolutely.
And I want to say, I do have a successful business.
Yeah, you do, girlfriend. You sure do. Your business is very successful.
Yeah, we're going to close 220 transactions this year, my team, which in the real estate world, that's a lot of business. And then, having the membership, but I don't work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Like a lot of the gurus out there, especially men, kind of make you feel like you have to work that much, and you don't.
Yeah. And you don't. There's a better way. Absolutely. So, well, I'm glad you're here, and I want to chat with Sierra real quick about Sierra's business. Hello, Sierra. So can I just brag on you for a second? Okay. So Sierra and I were sitting here talking before the podcast started, and Sierra lives in Northern California. Am I right? Like somewhere close to Paradise. What's the name of where you live? Or would you rather not share?
Chico. So I'm north of Sacramento and south of Redding.
Okay. Gotcha. I am geographically challenged. So basically I'll just stick with North California in my mind. But you are currently on vacation in Utah doing this podcast episode for me. And so I just appreciate you so much. So yeah, so you are, of the bunch here, you probably have the most creative business probably of everyone. Would you kind of tell us what you do?
Sure. So I design and upholster Western-inspired furniture, and I use mostly specialty fabrics like Pendleton wool and hides. My husband and I live with our son in a town of about 100 people, and I ship my furniture nationwide. I left my corporate healthcare job about 2 years ago now to stay home with my son. So my husband's an engineer paramedic for a fire department, and he's always gone. So it was really important to me to stay home. And then I joined the Inner Circle, I think about a year ago now. So, and when I joined, I had about 200 followers on my Facebook page. And then by, I think, November, I had over 2,000 just by implementing some of the systems you taught. So
that is crazy exciting. So I was looking through your Facebook page earlier this week, and like literally you're making furniture. I mean, it's hides. Am I right? I mean, tell me just a little bit more about what you do for our listeners, because it's fascinating. When I'm looking at your pictures, your staging is like 100% just so perfect. It's everything. Like I'm looking at your photos going, and of course I need to buy that. So
thank you. So yeah, I use mostly Pendleton wool, and then I also use hides. So mostly cow hides and leather. And my staging usually includes some of our livestock. So whether it's our horses or our cattle, it's out in the field. I'm jumping across barbed wire fences to put this chair in the field. Yeah,
it is like the wild, wild west, literally. And that is amazing. and awesome. Yeah. So Sierra, I would love to know just from you, tell me how community has maybe affected your business. I mean, obviously you're in my Inner Circle community, but just being able to communicate and get support from other entrepreneurs, I would just love to know like how that's affected your business and why you feel like that's important for every business owner, not necessarily joining my group, but just having some group of people that they can do community with.
Absolutely. So first off, I am so thankful I found you in the Inner Circle because I live in such a small town. If I didn't take my business online, I'm not sure where it would be. I mean, if I didn't have online, who am I going to sell to? Because like you say, you can have the best product out there, but if you don't have an audience to sell to,
Amen.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, and that's taking my business online. I've been able to ship my pieces all over the United States, which is amazing. And being in the Inner Circle, it's given me different ideas on how to do things, because sometimes you can't see the forest through the trees. You know, sometimes you're so close to your business, you don't know what your next step should be. So when I started, I had this tiny baby Etsy account and I had no idea where to go from there. But being in the Inner Circle, then I had basically the roadmap or the steps I need to take to grow, and having all these like-minded people, it gives you the energy and just the confidence to keep going, because it can be really overwhelming, everything in business. So it gave me the confidence, especially doing Facebook Lives. Oh my gosh, that was the first challenge. And I was like, I can't do it. I'm going to die. I can't do this.
All the other girls here on the podcast, we're all laughing together because we all felt that exact same way the first time we all did a Facebook Live. Absolutely.
Oh, so much so. But I am so thankful. And especially there's so many things like, what website platform do you use for the type of business you have, and what social media would be best for your business. So it's amazing to have so many different people in different stages of business to bounce ideas off of, and what step you should take next and where you should go from here. And I'm so grateful to be here.
Well, and I appreciate you so much. And, you know, one of the things, I know we started out a group of all creatives in the Inner Circle, and we have definitely branched out. I would say it's probably still 60% creatives and maybe 40% or more like Jessica. They're in something that's not creative, making with your hands. But I think what's so amazing about it is that you can learn from people in any industry. And sometimes like watching what somebody's doing in, you know, the skincare, in her skincare business, I'm like, what a great idea. Now, how can I take that idea and somehow implement the same kind of strategy, you know, in what I do? And so I love that you all three have like totally different niches that you're in and totally different things that you do. And I love that our community is not just still all creatives, because it gives us, I think we're sharper, you know, because of it. If that makes sense, I think we're absolutely sharper because of it. So, well, let me just kind of round off the podcast here with just asking kind of each of you one thing that has been the biggest blessing that's happened in your business this year, and then maybe one thing that you're hoping to do in your business before the year ends out. I know we didn't plan on that, but Corey, let's ask you first. What's something that's happened that you're super proud of, and then something that you're maybe still super working on? And if there's anything we can do in my group to help you, of course, we want to support that.
Well, thank you. The biggest thing that I can celebrate from this year alone is that I have grown my business and opening up that membership for the online camera school has been phenomenal. Doing something that was completely out of my realm of comfort zone. Even though I love to teach, I love to be on Facebook Lives, just having the confidence to put it out there that I know what I'm doing and I can help other people. I don't have to know it all, but I know a lot. And to share my blessings and gifts and talents with other people to try to build that legacy and capture the memories for other people's families was something that I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it and I'll figure it out as I do it.
Yeah.
And that has probably been the biggest blessing this year. And it's what I'm looking forward to. And honestly, your inner circle was what gave me the confidence and brought the ideas to the table to take it and just run with it and say, you know what? I don't have to have all the answers. I don't have to have all the pieces. I just need to get started. And it's one day at a time and one hurdle or, one challenge at a time. And it has been absolutely amazing. So I pray that grows in the next year and that I will have more members join again when I open it up. And that's what I'm looking, that was my success. Yeah. And what I'm working on for next year.
Well, I'm so proud of you. And what I love that you said right at the beginning, and I want to just talk about this and just dig a tiny bit deeper on this, is you love to teach, but you didn't necessarily know about teaching other people. I mean, I think that's so interesting because there's so many people that like go to school to be a teacher. Like they have a heart for teaching and they know that's what they want to do. And thank God for teachers. I mean, literally, because that would not be what I would be able to do to sit in a classroom with kids, all day, or even college age kids for that matter. But there's so many people in the inner circle who are now wearing the hat of a teacher. And it came about very organically, just people asking them questions, people asking, how are you doing what you're doing? And they never aspired to be a teacher, and yet they have the heart of one. And I think that's so awesome to watch people evolve in their businesses from you started out, I'm not going to say just taking pictures, but taking pictures. And then you've evolved to, and now I'm teaching people how to take pictures. And it's such an amazing thing when that happens in a business.
Well, and it's come full circle for me because I have a master's degree in education. I mean, I've taught for the Department of Defense.
There you go.
I taught in South Carolina, North Carolina. I mean, I was teaching kindergarten whenever I started. Actually, we were in Hawaii when I started my photography business, but came back to North Carolina, was teaching kindergarten. My husband moved to Quantico and having 3 teenagers and needing to be at home more because I couldn't teach kindergarten all day and then come home and be mom, dad, everybody to everybody. I decided, my business is again really, really booming, and I have to make a choice. I either have to take my business back full time or I'm going to have to let it go. And teaching was very stressful at the time, even though I loved it. It didn't allow me to be as present for my girls as I wanted to. And our family needed me to step up and be able to be in more of a, caretaker, nurturer. Like I needed to do all the things again because he was called to service. And so my photography business really did it. But then as I grew it and grew it and grew it, more people started saying, how did you do that? Mm-hmm. Or I will tell you, I decided to start this membership whenever I had a mom standing behind me. I was doing her daughter's senior pictures. And she said, you know what? I have a really fancy camera like that. I have no clue how to use it. I think I'm just going to get rid of it. I was like, no, don't. I can show you a few simple things. She's like, I have no idea. I can't even read the manual because it's a foreign language to me.
It's intimidating, yes.
And I was like, I can help you. There are so many few little basics that I can show you. And then it was like, ding, ding, ding. You are a teacher and you're a helper at heart. Even though you have a passion for photography, there is a way that I can do both. And that has been my goal. And then showing other people how you can do that too. You may, own a cupcake shop, or you may be a realtor, or you may do all of these other great things that you've created, but you can teach others how to do it too.
Yep, exactly. We're so glad you're here. Thank you, Corey. So Jessica, tell us what you're most proud of this year and what you are never a girl without a goal. So tell us what your next thing is that you're working on.
Well, okay, I think what I'm most proud of this year is actually having my business be a business, the Real Estate Mega Moms. Prior to this year and prior to joining your inner circle, it was really just something more of a dream, something I thought, I'll just, see how it goes.
Was it a hobby?
It was a hobby. There you go. It's just something fun to do, in my spare time.
Yeah.
Like I had a lot of that. So, but no, this year, it's an actual business. I was able to form a corporation and, I have to run it through QuickBooks. I have to treat it like my brokerage.
Yes.
And I think that's what I'm most proud of, that it actually turned into something. And it wasn't, I really attribute a lot of it to being part of the mastermind and part of the inner circle, because I was able to model a lot of things after the way you run your inner circle and use it to take it into my industry and, just bouncing things off of you. So I really, really appreciate you putting yourself out there and being willing to share what you've learned too.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. So what do you got next on the agenda?
Well, we're trying to grow our group, our membership, and I'm working on a book, and we have our planner.
I have all casual. I'm working on a book, just a little old thing, just a book.
Yeah, so but no, for real, we want to grow our group, which we called Inner Circle. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. It's an industry term. It's all good.
There's a lot of them out there, but.
Yes.
No, we're going to be relaunching in November. So
awesome.
Hoping to help more moms and just really refine the leverage piece of our business. So you can fit your business, real estate business, in from 9 to 3 and still have a really, really successful business.
Right. Well, I think sometimes what happens to entrepreneurs, I'm putting on my teaching hat for just a second, but I think sometimes we start a business and the business begins to run our life and it runs our family, and everybody's just kind of having to, if a business starts to be successful and starts picking up some steam, it's like a snowball. And eventually, like you see this thing getting out of control and you're like, now what do I do with it? And I have such a heart to teach people a better way so that they can try to be as present for their family as possible, while still have a business that brings them profit that can be a blessing to their family. And so I love that we really share that heart in your business as well. So thank you for being here, girl.
Thank you for having me.
Miss Sierra, tell us about what you're most proud of this year, and tell us what you're doing in Utah right now. Family vacation?
So I'm visiting friends in Utah. I'm on, it was supposed to be a regular vacation, but now it's a working vacation. I bought my spray gun and I'm redoing my girlfriend's kitchen.
Oh, that is hilarious. So you're painting cabinets in Utah. God bless it.
Yeah. So I think I'm most grateful for learning how to ship furniture from the inner circle. That was a huge push for my business. If I didn't understand or learn how to ship furniture, there's absolutely no way I would have anybody to sell to out here.
And so, Sierra, let me ask you this. After you figured out a few tips and tricks from inside of my group, it's not as big, hard, and scary as you originally thought, is it? Because I think furniture painters are like, this is a huge deal. I mean, this is a buffet. How am I ever going to ship a buffet? People will pay to have a buffet shipped, will they not?
They will. And I mean, I've had pieces go everywhere. And at first, I was having a heart attack. I can't believe people, like, imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I can't believe people want to buy your pieces. But then after the first few pieces I shipped, I was like, this is amazing. Online has absolutely changed.
Game changer.
I mean, huge.
Yeah.
So, learning how to ship furniture, and now I get to teach others how to ship furniture. Because it's not as big, hard, and scary. And it opens so many doors, and there are so many cool projects I get to work on because of it. So, I mean, living in a tiny, tiny town, so my son has his pony, and we take orders to the post office. He rides his pony to the post office. So, I mean, this is how small
How can we just be friends, like in real life? Like, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Northern California, is this? I mean, that's just majestic. And I'm pretty sure that you kind of chronicleize all of this on your Instagram account. Am I right? Okay.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. You will get every bit of it. It is very much rural America.
Okay. I love it. In a world as fast-paced as most of us are living, I love your rural America dream. So anything new coming up in the next year that you're working on, or are you just working on growing what you've got?
Yes, both. So I'm still working on custom pieces, and I have a little store display in a town that's about an hour from us. So I make pieces for them as well. But this next year, I'm really working on the online tutorials, online upholstery tutorials, and then painting some chairs and refinishing wood and what have you. So
that's awesome. Sierra, will you tell people where they can find you on social media?
Absolutely. So I'm on every platform at The Rusted Roan, and then my website is therustedroan.com.
And that's ROAN. And for those of us that have no idea, what is a roan?
So a roan is a color of a horse or a cow, and that's what I do is
horses and cows, and therefore it makes sense. So that is awesome. All right, Jessica, they can find you at Real Estate Mega Moms. Is that the best place to find you?
Yes, realestatemegamoms.com is our website, or at Real Estate Megamoms on Instagram or on Facebook.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. And Corey, where can they go to find you online?
They can find me online at CoreyFrazierPhotography.com, on Instagram, Facebook, as Corey Frazier Photography. And if you are a military spouse and looking for some business tips, tools, and support, you can find us at Military Spouse Compass for Creatives.
Awesome. Thank you, Corey. So thank you, ladies. Well, listen, my podcast guests, I just want to thank you for being here again this week. And I just wanted to bring some other people on that could just kind of give you a little bit of an idea of the experience that they've had in my inner circle, and kind of just show you, I guess, the diversity between businesses, the difference in what different people are doing in the group. And I just really want to drive home the fact that owning your own business, it can be such a lonely experience. I know that I went through a period of time where I didn't feel real connected to people in my industry. And I didn't feel like anyone that I was really close friends and family members really understood growing a business, because they, for the most part, were in 9-to-5 jobs. And the truth is, it's so different when you own your own thing, especially when you're in a stage when you're trying to grow your own thing. And so I was craving a community of people that I could talk about business with. I didn't want to talk just about painting, which is what my business was. I wanted to talk about how to really grow as a business, and how to really market that, and how to really get more clients, and how to be able to work more or work less, but make more. And so when I couldn't find a group like that, I started my own group. And so the Inner Circle has been around for over 3 years. We have probably 1,300 members, I think, in the group right now. They range from people who are just trying to make enough money to pay for piano lessons to people who are making 7 figures a year. And so we run the gamut. We have tons of different industries. We would love to invite you into the Inner Circle with us. And so you can go to creatorsinnercircle.com. We are open through Thursday, September, I believe, the 27th at midnight. So I would love to see you there. So thank you, friends, for listening to the podcast again this week. And until next week, I hope you'll stay creative. Bye-bye. Hey friend, thank you so much for listening to the podcast again this week. I'm so honored that you're here and that you just listen week in and week out, and that you share the Jennifer Allwood Show with your friends and family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, don't forget that you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, or if you're an Android user, go download the Stitcher app and you can subscribe there so that you know every single week when a new episode releases. Also, if you have any time to leave us a review, these reviews are super important in getting guests for the show and sponsors for the show. And so we'd appreciate it if you have just a second to leave us a review. That would be amazing. Thank you guys again for being here. And until next week, stay creative.